What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Clocks on the stove. This is going to be a two-part episode. We're going to first start off with college football week one, everything that happened in week one. Talk about week two. Talk about the AP poll coming out, and then we're gonna go into the UFC 279 that's happening this weekend. Nate Diaz versus hopefully Khamzat Chimaev. We don't know yet. We'll get into that. But yeah, we're gonna start off first with our picks from last week for college football week one. First of all, I just want to say Zach and I are 23-9 overall with our record so far with our picks, which is, I think, pretty spectacular, if I had to say so myself. Our first pick of last week, we picked Central Michigan hitting the what was the spread?
I believe it was a 14.5 cover.
21 and a half.
21.5.
Yeah. Against Oklahoma State, they covered. Oklahoma State won 58-44, but which is kind of insane because they were destroying them at one point. And then Central Michigan put 22 up in the fourth.
Yeah. Kind of one of the, as Scott Van Pelt would call it, bad beats at the end of your week. You know, you think you have your bet covered. You're just kind of like putting it to the side, thinking that's in the bag. And then, Mike Gundy-led teams just really don't know how to step on people's throats, I guess. Just can't really close it out. You bring in the subs a little too early, not really caring, thinking you're up by too much. But sorry for the fans at home that bet them to cover, because that sure as hell didn't work out for them.
Would have worked out if you listen to Clocks on the Stove.
You ain't lying. But rolling into the next game, I have to say I'm disappointed in myself for not recognizing this as a rivalry sooner. But then again, usually rivalries play every year, and I'm pretty sure this went on like a 6-year gap?
11-year gap.
Oh, sorry, an 11-year gap for a quote unquote rivalry between Pittsburgh Panthers and the West Virginia Mountaineers. We had the old backyard brawl taking place out there, and let me tell you, it was a brawl.
West Virginia fans were saying it's our state versus your neighborhood because Pittsburgh's a city.
Nice. Yeah. Well, Mountaineer Nation, let's ride our way to this fat L. How about that? JT Daniels ain't doing shit for you, is he?
Yo, honestly though, the game, I don't know if you watched it, Zach. The game was it was a really good game. And as much as I like to shit on JT Daniels, the dude played great. The game was 31-31, then a pick six for Pittsburgh to win it late in the fourth. I believe there's about 4 minutes left. But the pick six wasn't JT Daniels' fault. It hit his receiver right in the hands.
Yeah.
It went through his hands and then it pick sixed it.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of the things that kind of stood out to me that game is Keaton Slavis just wasn't really who I thought he was at the beginning. He ended up finishing the game with, I believe, 308 passing yards. But
one touchdown though. But
yeah, only one touchdown. I mean, I thought he was really going to do a lot more for that Pittsburgh offense. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is also week one, so a lot of things, aren't what they appear to be right out of the gate. Some teams start slow and other teams start real hot. And that's not to say either of these teams won't finish any better later in the season. I have high expectations for Pitt. It's kind of hard when you lost Jordan Addison to USC, I believe, and you also lost Kenny Pickett to the draft. I mean, those are two.
And your offensive coordinator to Nebraska.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that might have been a favor for them because considering how he called his game,
yeah.
It must have been his fault too, considering Scott Frost over there, like, oh, my offensive staff's got to do a better job.
My OC that won ACC Offensive Coordinator of the Year is awful, man.
Yeah, get out of here. But yeah, honestly, great way to start things off.
Yeah, great opening game. Like, that was kind of like the first big game.
Yeah, one of our picks that wasn't in there, but I feel the need to add. We had FIU having to take Bryant into OT. I don't even know where the hell Bryant is. So FIU, you are dog water, as they would say.
So they're so
yeah, they should have lost too. But anyway, moving forward, we had another great game with Penn State and Purdue.
Yeah, we got back-to-back great games on Thursday. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we had some bangers to open things up. I believe we had Penn State with the spread minus 3.5.
We did.
And let me tell you, that pick wasn't looking. I was not. I remember when the game started, me and Grace were texting back and forth, and I was like, dude, I do not know about how our picks are going,
Dude,
man. I
and
was like,
and in the pod, I was like, yo, I kind of want to grab Purdue. Like, it's just like it's a Purdue ass game. And you and
yeah,
Caleb were like, nah, dude, nah, nah. And then the whole game, I'm texting Caleb and Zach. I'm like, fuck you guys. I knew we should have picked Purdue, like blah, blah, blah. And then fucking Penn State pulls it out of their ass, bro. By the way,
yeah,
Purdue has no 2-minute offense at all. It was atrocious. Their hurry up
yeah.
was atrocious.
They also didn't have a 2-minute defense either because they made. I don't even remember.
They
I don't
made
even remember
Sean
the guy.
Clifford look like a
Yes.
fucking Heisman in the last drive.
Yeah, like the whole game, I was just saying, like, bro, Penn State, just please put in your backup. Like, it'll give you a chance. And then suddenly Sean Clifford was like, I am Tom Brady for this
Yeah.
last minute and 58. By the way, huge shout out to the Purdue guy for having a 72-yard pick return and then puking his guts out on
Yeah,
live
the
TV.
puke six. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
the
that.
puke six. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. But did that game also have a? Oh no, I was thinking back to the pick game with the pick six to seal it. But yeah, two huge pick sixes in those games. That
Dude,
really
it was
kind
a
of
great, like you said, it was an unbelievable way to start the college football season.
yeah. And I mean, this is all taking place on Thursday night. Like
Yeah.
this was literally like this isn't even the official Saturday. This is week 0. Um, just incredible. Moving on from there. I believe that rounded out things for the Thursday night games. At least what we had our picks on. Friday, we
Do
even
a shout
had
out real quick. I'm sorry. Before we do a pick, I do want to give a special shout out to the Old Dominion Monarchs for beating Virginia Tech on Friday night, 20-17.
ooh, they did. One of the things I'll point out about that game, the leading passer of that game only had 197 yards. They couldn't
Hey,
even
shout
throw
out
the
my
football
boy
in that.
Stefano Feliciano playing linebacker at ODU.
Oh yeah, making things count, beating a solid ACC program, or at least notoriety
Had a
wise.
solid reputation. But Zach, do you want to start
Yes.
us off with our first pick of Friday? Was Illinois covering the spread against Indiana?
Yes. So unfortunately, this was a break bread game. We didn't lose any money on this. We also didn't win any money, unfortunately, with the +3. I thought Illinois had it the entire time. Their
Didn't they
running
go
back,
for it? Didn't they get stuffed at 4th and goal on like 4th and 1?
I believe so.
I
I
think
believe,
so. I think they should have won the game.
yeah, they should have won. And then, yeah, I just didn't think Indiana really had it with losing Penix Jr. I was really shocked that game. I believe Cam Camper is like leading the nation in yards after contact on the ground for Illinois. I think their run game is super potent. I thought they were going to come out hot, and they did.
Campers,
Um,
Indiana.
oh, Camper's Indiana. Sorry. I forget the Illinois leading rusher, but he's like leading in yards after contact. He was impossible to bring down. He was fun to watch.
Yeah, he had
Um,
200 yards that game for 36 touches. That's crazy.
yeah. Am I looking at the wrong? What was his name?
Brown.
Chase Brown, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Chase Brown. Sorry, I was looking at the receiving leader. Cam Camper's the damn. He had 156 receiving yards for Indiana, so they were just tearing him up through the air, I guess. But yes, unfortunately, Illinois couldn't cover or couldn't get it done. But we broke even. Didn't lose any money on those bets. Didn't win any money
It was
either.
super frustrating because it was like my birthday and we were all out at the bars and it's like everyone's partying and like me, Zach, and Caleb were just standing there watching the end of the Illinois game. We're like, bro, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
They're like, dude, it is Friday night and you are watching Illinois and Indiana. What are you doing? And I'm like, shut up, shut up. I don't really care about that right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a lot riding on this game. But my biggest failure of a pick, I'll take full responsibility for this. I thought Colorado was going to cover. And the reason why I said this was Colorado's schedule is not necessarily easy this year, and TCU was one of their easiest opponents. And I don't ever expect a team to go winless, but if they were going to win a game, this was going to be the game to do it, and they got blown out of the water.
Yeah, me and
38-13.
Caleb definitely were gonna rock with TCU, but
I
Zach's
didn't
got a
like
way
that
with
spread.
words, man. Zach's got a way with words.
I mean, you think about it, you're a coach on a hot seat. You haven't really been performing that well. You would think going into the season, you're going to have your guys prepared, locked in. Like, this is my year. Like, I'm not losing my job. And then you roll out
At
against,
home too. At home.
yeah, you have a bunch of Texas Christians rolling up into your campus and then laying the beat down on you. I mean, dude, Texas Christian already has enough distractions at itself. They got the most beautiful women stroming their campus. You took them up to Colorado with anything they wanted to do, and then they whooped you as well. So, I don't really know. I didn't get a chance to watch a ton of that game. I was too busy stuck on the Illinois game. Um, so I can't really tell you if TCU was just really that good or if Colorado just sucks that bad. But if I were to put my money on it, I'm going to guess Colorado sucks that bad. Uh, but yeah, that rounded out the Friday games.
Before we go
And
into our next pick, some honorable shout outs. NC State, East Carolina noon game. Talk about football, dude. That game was electric. Number 13, NC State pulled it out 21-20. ECU starting kicker misses the game time PAT. They get a chance back
not
with
only
the
that,
ball. They get the
oh
chance
yeah,
back with the ball, misses the game winning field goal.
yeah,
ECU should have won this game.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. If you put me in that situation, I may not show up to school. I may not even show up in the city. Like you may have to file a missing persons report. I don't know. I would have a very hard time recovering from that. And let me tell you, ECU fans are not kind.
Mm-mm.
They are kind of psychopaths for every sport. They love, for a school that isn't really that good at any sports, they love
No, their baseball's
all.
gross. Their baseball's gross.
Yeah, their baseball is pretty good, but from like national championship perspectives, like they don't really have like a ton of trophies in their trophy case, but
Mm-mm.
their fans still love them. So
They had
I'll
that one
always love
season in football with Shane Carden where they were really good. Okay, 5, 6 years
Shane
ago.
Carden.
Remember
Shane Carden. Wow, I haven't heard that
that?
name in forever. Holy shit.
But yeah, that was
Uh,
a great game. ECU should have won. Really makes you feel skeptical on NC State this year, who was coming in as the number 2 behind Clemson for the ACC. So
yeah,
it's like, the other
yeah.
honorable mention I want to give real quick: Iowa versus South Dakota State. Iowa won 7-3, and you're like, oh, that's nice, that's awesome. They got a touchdown. No, they got a
No,
field goal and 2 safeties. Iowa hasn't even scored a touchdown yet, and their starting quarterback.
Petrus or whatever his name
I
is.
was just looking at this. Their starting quarterback, Petrus, went 11 for 25 with 109 yards and an interception. And
Yeah,
he had minus 25 rushing yards.
I saw a tweet. It was
And he
like
fumbled the
Spencer.
ball.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that was like Spencer Petrus might be the greatest college quarterback to throw the ball 7 yards shy of the sticks every time. Like that man was so bad.
Yeah, that
And I'm
game is and like Dane, we love you, man. I texted you to busted your balls after the game, but like there's no like I understand having a rough opening game, but like that's not even like you can't even be like, oh, we had the jitters or like we were getting the rust off. Like that's an FCS school who just lost their starting quarterback. So you should have pummeled them.
yeah, and wow, that that was ugly. Let me tell you. But let's get into the Saturday matchups. We started off. I mean, these aren't the games listed on the ESPN website aren't really in chronological order, but we'll just kind of go through them
It
as they
was
appear.
North Carolina App State was our next pick. We picked App
Okay.
State winning and we picked the over 56. Well, the over slammed because it was 63 to
I
61.
mean, yeah, you could have just picked one team to hit the over
Yeah.
on that one, but
But App State lost, and dude, that might have been the best game of the weekend. App
yeah,
State goes up 21-7. Then they go down, like 42-21, come
yeah,
back and tie it at 49, and then it's just a shootout the rest of the game. And then they go for
yeah.
two, right? Am I not mistaken? They
Go,
go,
yeah,
what happened
go
at the
for
very end?
two. They went for two, didn't get it, kicked an onside kick. The guy ran it back. So now they're down by 8 with 30 seconds left or 24 seconds left, something like that. They drive down the field, score again, and then miss the 2-point conversion again.
But didn't the second one it hit him in the hands and he dropped it?
Um,
Oh
I
no,
can't
I think that
remember
was
if
the
that.
first one, and the second one he overthrew it at wide open receiver.
No, the first one was he overthrew the wide open receiver. What killed me was they had the perfect play call set up, and the running back literally ran the flat, and the linebacker kind of bit down, but all he had to do was just set his feet, give it a little air, and it was a mess up on both parts. The quarterback kind of overthrew it, but you have a running back that's backpedaling to the ball when he should have just like
Been in
committed,
stride, yeah.
yeah, committed to running out, catching it in stride, but you had a little mishap, and then your second 2-point conversion attempt, you run the same play. Like you already got fooled by once. I doubt they'll get fooled again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You know how it goes.
Can't put the
But one
blame
of the
on you.
exactly shout out Jermaine Cole. One of the things I wanted to point out about this game, terrible broadcast journalism done, or sorry, color commentating, excuse me, done by the announcers in this game. When UNC ran that kickback, the onside kickback to take the lead by 7, and the extra point would have been 8. The announcer's sitting there saying, and with this extra point, this will seal the deal. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, he said it's now a 2-score game.
Yeah, it's now a two score game. This game, it'll seal the deal. I'm like, dude, what fucking world is 8 points? Game over.
Yeah.
Please let me know. I would love to know. And I was like, maybe if you were to set it from a clock management side of things, 30 seconds left, it's not realistic. But to say the game's over, like, come on. And then
to say 2-score, to say the words 2-score.
Yeah. And then as App State is driving down the field to tie the game, we had I think it was a 20-plus yard completion on an out route where the receiver ran out of bounds, and he's screaming in the booth, why aren't they hurrying up to the line to get ready to clock the ball? Like, once these chains get set, like, the clock's going to start rolling. I'm like, dude, he caught the ball and went out of bounds under his own accord. I would understand if it was a mishap and he got shoved backwards out of bounds, because then the clock wouldn't stop. The clock wouldn't stop in that case. But no, this man went out of bounds to his own accord, and it was a first down, and you're over there screaming like, oh my God, they're going to start the clock. Like, what are they taking their time for? Like, dude, have people in the booth that know how to call football games and know what they're watching.
Have us. Hire us. We'll get it right.
Yes, and I promise I'll know everyone's name on the roster, and I sure as hell will know the rules to a college football game. I know the difference between NFL and college, 1 foot inbounds, clock stops after a first down, that type of stuff. But, I mean, geez, it was giving me pain in my heart knowing someone had my dream job and they still weren't doing it to the best of their ability. But that was my rant for the day. Moving on from there, what was our next pick after that?
Our worst pick of the weekend, Oregon covering the spread. We had Oregon plus 17.
Yeah.
And they lost 49-3 to Georgia.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix threw 2 picks in the first 18 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Bo Nix not only threw 2 interceptions that were like great defensive plays, he literally threw it at a receiver that had 4 guys standing between him and the receiver. So I really don't know what is wrong with that kid. His just decision making is piss poor, if we're being honest. And
apologies to Stetson Bennett, because we all trashed you on the last pod, and you went 25 for 31 with 368 yards, 2 tutties, and a rushing touchdown.
So, yeah, you opened a can of whoop ass on your haters.
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry about shitting on you, Stetson.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he definitely showed out. But that Georgia defense, by the way, is terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. I also think Bo Nix is just dog water.
Yes, but you could have put Tim Tebow, prime Tim Tebow, back in there, and he would have cried to Jesus. Like that 30 minutes for the rest of your live speech when you're down by 45 would not have worked in that scenario. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. Oh.
But our next game, yeah, so fuck Oregon, fuck Pac-12. Pac-12, that makes the Pac-12 look so bad.
If you thought that game made the Pac-12 look bad, just wait until we get to our next Pac-12 game, which, by the way, I tried to give some defense to the Gators. I tried, even a little bit, but we caught I don't know if this is the next game that we picked. I don't know if we have some in between.
No, we got 2 more.
Okay.
We got Cincinnati, number 23 Cincinnati, losing 24-31 to number 19 Arkansas. Only takeaways I got from Arkansas is legit as hell. They're a good team. We hit it. We said Arkansas -6. The only thing I'd like to say is, as I'm a big Luke Fickell fan, as we said, and I like Cincinnati. I like what they're doing over there. Luke Fickell is a 2-time high school state champ wrestler. So,
yep.
For a team that has the amount of injuries they have right now and the amount of talent they lost to the next level, they did not look bad. For a rebuilding team, they lost to a very good Arkansas team by a touchdown. They didn't look bad. They really didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things I pointed out was Cincinnati still has their O-line there, which is honestly a Power 5 contender. I think they'll always be able to compete with those teams. And I think Fickell's a quality coach with his play calling. And I think he trusts his coordinators to get things done on both sides of the ball. But obviously, when you're going up against an SEC school during a rebuild, especially a ranked SEC opponent, it's just hard. It's just hard to, compete that long and stay with it. Arkansas kind of did what I thought they would, just kind of abuse it on the ground, keep things there. But when you lose your arguably best corner in school history and your best quarterback in school history, and you're still able to make it that close of a game week one, hey, shout out to you. We'll be riding with you with plenty of other picks along the way. I wish him nothing but success. I'm pretty sure Cincinnati and Oregon were the only two teams to drop out of the top 25, I believe, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them back in there
They'll make
sooner
their way.
rather than
Yeah, I think
later.
they'll make their way back. They looked good, dude. They looked good. But
Yeah,
the
they
next
look
game
solid.
was extremely shocking. Number 24 Houston beat UTSA at UTSA 37-35 and triple overtime.
Yeah, we had the Houston with the -4 to cover. Houston unfortunately didn't cover, although they did win though. So
So, it was another little 50-50 game we had there.
yeah, if you would have took money line, you would have won. Hey, you win some, you lose some. And in this case, we kind of split it down the middle on that pick.
Yo, I don't
But
know if you
yeah,
know this. The UTSA quarterback, his name is
is that
Frank
Frank
Harris.
Harris?
Dude,
Yes.
he balled out 28 for 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then 63 yards on the ground with a touchdown.
Yeah, yeah, that was a great game. I wish I would have watched more of that.
And
Obviously,
I didn't see any of it, honestly, which I'm kind of upset about.
I mean, dude, there were so many good games. We had, how we released our watching schedule, what we would be watching throughout the weekend. So, we stuck by that. We weren't going to switch up from that because, especially for our fans, we're never going to tell you to watch one thing and then switch to the other. But that's also the beauty about college football. You could literally have a non-power five or two teams that aren't ranked in the top 25, and they could put on a game of the year contender. That's just how the sport is. These are teams that love the game of football. They both love the game of football, and they're both out there to compete their hearts out. These are kids competing for scholarships, competing for starting spots, competing to win, to become, cemented in their school's lore forever. So, there's always something on the line in every game, whether or not it has bowl implications or rivalry implications. You put that aside, it's still football at the end of the day. So no matter what you tune into, you might find something you enjoy. So I'm really glad that game came out a banger. We didn't win the bet, but we did win as fans for that game. For those that tuned into that, so happy to see us competing or competitive, excuse me. And I think Houston will bounce back even better next week. I didn't think they were at their best. Triple overtime game. Obviously, the score was probably in the 20s heading into overtime, so I expect their offense to even open up the door even more than that.
Well, we will be
And
talking about Houston again shortly as they have a must-watch game coming up. But the
yeah,
game that Zach really wanted to talk about, number 7 Utah losing to unranked Florida 26-29 at the
yeah.
Swamp.
Let me tell you something. It is the most Pac-12 thing in the world to be ranked in the top 10, only to immediately remove yourself of any playoff contention week one. And not only doing that, you also made my worst nightmare come true by having a not even that good Florida team suddenly become a top 15 ranked team in the country for some reason. I think they deserve to be ranked. Like, yeah, sure, you beat a top 10 team, but to jump that much in the rankings for one win, which you should have lost, to be honest, because Utah honestly shot themselves in the foot the entire damn game. Your quarterback didn't even throw for any touchdowns. He's a glorified running back that just happens to have an arm. No disrespect, AR-15. You are nasty. I did say you would open this game up on the ground, but I'm still not going to respect you as a school. Matt McDonald, go fuck yourself. You talk shit all weekend. I said I was going to give you some respect on the pod. Psych. Screw that. Get out of my mentions.
Dude, my phone Saturday night and Sunday just blown up by all my UF friends because they listened to the pod and they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, fuck yourself." And I was
Yeah.
like, but like they should have lost. You have a
They should have
Heisman,
lost.
you have a Heisman candidate quarterback in Cam Rising, drives you all the way down. It's first and goal with 29 seconds left. No timeouts, 29 seconds left. Why the fuck are you throwing the ball on the first play? You can run, you can run it down the middle, hurry up, spike. It's third down. You have one more shot, doesn't work, you kick a field goal. Why are you rushing? He threw it in a double.
Even have to
it
spike.
wasn't even like damn, the DB made a great play. Dude, he threw it in double coverage right in the middle of the fucking field. He didn't even look, he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna force it.
Yeah. I will say though, one of the coolest things I've ever seen is on that 2-point conversion attempt from Florida. Anthony Richardson had a
360
jump throw. Yeah. Jump throw 360 pump fake while stiff arming Utah defender. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen that in my life. But yeah, Florida fans, go ahead and ride that high. I'm sure it'll last long. I'm sure. I honestly I think they gave them that 12 ranking just for when they play their first um fellow ranked SEC opponent. It'll just be that much sweeter watching them get,
That's what we'll
shit
talk
smacked.
about in about 5 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, just oh my god,
What was
that left the
it?
worst taste in my
Our
mouth.
next pick was Ohio State, and then we also took Notre Dame plus 17.5. Both hit. So my thing on this game was very boring game. Very boring game. Notre
Yeah,
Dame was
exactly
up
what I
10 to
said.
7. Notre Dame was up 10 to 7 the whole game and then shit the bed at the end. And this is what I don't understand. Ohio State's not getting shit on for this game. And I don't know why. They were a 17 and a half favorite, okay, over a Notre Dame team with a first-year starting quarterback. And they
Yeah.
won by 11. My thing is, everything I've seen with media and videos is like, dude, they're like, yeah, their offense started off slow. They always start off slow, but their defense, look how good their defense played. Only 10 points, their defense. Bro, fuck that. They should have ran up the scoreboard. They
Yeah.
underperformed. They underperformed. And yes, did their defense look better than normal? Absolutely. They also played a fucking awful offense. But
Yeah.
to act like they played amazing, they didn't at all. They were projected to win by more.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things I'll point about this game, and it happened exactly as I said, and it makes me that much more mad. Notre Dame was going to be winning the game going into halftime, like I said, and then Ohio State was just gonna, shut down the defense and be able to put up just enough points or wake up a little just to take the lead and put the game away. Um, that's extremely frustrating to watch, especially as someone who enjoys Ohio State football, because you're supposed to be competing for championships at the end of the year, and you're not stepping on the throats of teams that you should. I thought Notre Dame was overrated to begin with. I thought their ranking was really undeserved and they were way too high. And it played out exactly as I thought it would, and then the rankings were exactly what I thought. Because Notre Dame didn't get beat by what they were projected to lose by, we'll only put them at 8th in the rankings. Dude, they don't play anyone the rest of the year, so now they're just going to cruise by as a top 10 team. And if the rest of the top 7 teams above them end up losing some games, they're going to find their way back in the college playoff again. And for what reason? They can't compete with any of those teams. They line up against Georgia or Alabama. They're funked. They're fucked.
They're mocked.
They're mocked. And you know what? I hope, screw it. I hope they do make it as a 4 seed and Georgia's 1, just so Georgia can go out there and absolutely dismantle them worse than we've ever seen in our lives.
I think Notre Dame with the new 12 team playoff coming out, I think they're going to be the most consistent playoff team ever because they're just going to sneak in from 10 to 12 every fucking season.
They have to join a conference though. They can't sneak by as independent.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
And I guarantee you, and I swear to God, if they end up joining some pussy
No,
conference,
I think they would join the ACC. I think that would just be the most realistic for them.
What is the ACC gonna be in the next 2-3 years? Clemson's gonna leave. Florida State's gonna leave. What are they gonna commit? You get to line up against Mac Brown's UNC team.
Mac Brown won't be there in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the ground, to be honest with you.
Jesus.
I mean, death by natural causes, not because the fans came for his throat. I promise.
Oh, fuck. All right. Next game of the week by a mile. Florida State 24, LSU 23. Holy shit, what a fucking game. And Florida
about them nose.
It's the first time in a long time where we don't have to be embarrassed being Florida State fans. Okay.
Oh my God. First of all,
now listen, sorry, real quick. 24-23 does not do this game justice. Florida State completely dominated the game and just let LSU keep coming back. Yeah. I mean, they're up the whole game. Then they punt it 24-23. No, 24-17. They punt it. LSU guy drops the punt. First play on the goal line, they do a pitch. Why the fuck are you pitching the ball? Just run it. Just hand it off. Even a field goal is GG's.
Yeah.
LSU ends up getting the fumble, driving all the way. Shout out Jaden Daniels, by the way, because Zach and Nick would not stop talking shit about him.
I was the one defending him. Nick was the one railing him. I'm like, dude, he's still a blue chip prospect.
Dude, he's still good. He just played a good team.
Yeah, I was the one saying, like, Nick, why are you on his ass? He's like, nah. not quality college product. Like, this is terrible. This is
Dude,
unbelievable.
yeah, no, fuck Nick. Jaden Daniels drives them all the way down the field and scores on Florida State. And then they get the fucking PAT blocked.
Block at the bayou,
0 seconds left. 0 seconds. It's the only play left in the game to go to OT, and it gets fucking blocked. And Florida State wins 24-23. We're 2-0 for the first time in a long fucking time. Mike Norvell's got Florida State back, baby. And we can't lose this week because it's a bye week.
Only way we can possibly lose the bye week is if someone gets suspended partying at pots or recess, which, by the way, great environments, but please, Florida State players, I swear to God, if you get caught out at pots or recess, I will personally drive to Tallahassee and ground you myself.
Dude.
Two things I'd like to say.
It's nice to be a Florida State fan right now, man.
Yes. Two things I'd like to say. Or maybe three. Number one, you beat a Pac-12 school. We actually beat an SEC school
in their home state.
And big fuck you to Brian Kelly. You sold out from Notre Dame, and the only person you brought over was your special teams coordinator, who ended up. By the way, Florida State got 0 points off of 2 muff punts inside the red zone.
Yo, and didn't we block 2? We blocked a field goal earlier in the game also.
We blocked, yes. Yeah. So special teams was balling out for us.
Yeah.
We just got a little greedy on the special team side. We ended up going for it on 4th down the first time.
I'm all for that, though. I'm all for that.
It was early in the game. It was a tone setter. Kicking field goal really doesn't do much anyway. Like, who cares? Norvell wanted to be aggressive. He wanted to step on some throats, which is what I love to see. But later in the game, that's just not the right time to do that. You pulled a little Scott Frost there, thinking, let's just kick a little onside kick right here.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out. But the last thing I'll say is Florida State rolling out their new white unis with the white helmets. Beautiful. That's how you win the bye week. Roll out some beautiful unis. But, there were some comments that I read which spoke true to heart. And it was, I don't care if you played in your practice uniforms, just win. Yeah. That's all I want to see. So Florida State, keep things rolling. I would have liked to see them ranked because this may be the only time we could have been ranked. I understand why we weren't. But, if you're going to put UF 24 spots up in the rankings, maybe add another Florida team in there, But I'm fine with it. It's okay. I'm not gonna be upset over it.
And then our last pick. Oh, sorry, you have your third thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say our last pick of the week, Monday night game.
Exactly what we said. Clemson destroyed Georgia Tech on paper, 41-10, but they looked awful.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they did not look good at all.
Yeah, DJ, I'm still not learning your last name.
Ukulele. Yeah, did not look good. Yeah. I still think Cade Lubbock's too young to throw into the fire.
Yeah, no, it is not looking good for Clemson down there. I will say though, Wade Woodaz, former Jesuit and former CDS boy, did get a block punt as a true freshman.
That's dope.
Yeah. So shout out him, big Tampa 813 boy. We'll shout him out. Another thing I want to shout out from this past week's recap, because I ain't gonna let it go by. You had your Mountain West Conference Player of the Week, Clocks on the Stove's very own Bentley Sanders coming up with 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. Also had a forced fumble, 5 tackles, 2 of them being tackles for loss. I mean, absolutely balling out. Led Nevada to another win. Ended up being the second Nevada Mountain West Player of the Week, defensively at least. Dude, I would have said last week, it would have been my what have I been doing every week?
Bold
saying
prediction.
My bold prediction. But it can't be a bold prediction when it's expected, baby. We know what we're getting out of Bentley Sanders, and that's a goddamn playmaker. So shout out Bentley. Thanks for representing. You make Tampa look good. Keep doing your thing up there.
Hey, and you show that short kings can also ball, baby.
Always.
Like the short kings.
He should have 4 picks. Should have 4 picks, but he's still leading the NCAA with 3. He'll take it. Only going to add more. But yeah, big shout out to him. Didn't want to let that go.
So you love that shout out. My special shout out is going to be to Marquise Colvin, playing for the Troy Spartans. What are they?
Troy. Yeah, what is Troy's name?
There's something with a sword, I think.
They are a sword.
Troy. Um, they're the Troy. I have no idea what they are. Trojans. They are the Troy Trojans.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
why I
just hard
didn't
when
hear
you think
that.
of when you think of Trojans, you think USC, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking condoms actually, so that's why I didn't I didn't want to say it. But shout out Marquise Colvin, our boy. We went to high school with him. He got a pick on Jackson Dart in the Ole Miss game. So yeah, there's my special shout out of the week. But
yo,
that's gonna wrap up last week. Let's dive into this week, which I think is a lot better football, personally, in my opinion.
yes,
We
I
got
agree.
we got number one Alabama playing at Texas. Alabama comes in as a 20-point favorite. Texas over under, the over under the game is 65 and a half. Zach, what are we thinking about this game? By the way, it's a noon kickoff game, a noon college game day game, which I'm a big fan of.
You know, damn, it's really just going to be about whether or not Texas can put up enough points to even get to the over. I'm not worried about Alabama. By the way, Alabama last week was a very misleading 55-0 victory over Utah State. I'm pretty sure Utah State last year only had like what, two
Yeah, they
losses?
won the conference. Utah State's good. They're a good team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Alabama just absolutely dog walked them.
Yeah.
I mean that was
Yeah,
insane.
that 55-0 is a lot more impressive when you realize that Utah State was a
How
legit
good that
program. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is not what you think it was. Like for most teams, that Utah State game is something that that's not a tune-up game for
Dude,
most
if you
teams.
put that Utah State game against Texas A&M, they might win.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, you put it up against some of the teams that we saw play this week. There are a lot of teams who would have struggled. I'm not saying UF would have lost to Utah State, but I'm saying I'm
They
saying
wouldn't
it
have
would have
won
been
55-0.
yeah, it wouldn't have been 55. I would have tuned in for it. I would have been tuned in. But yeah, you know what you're getting out of Alabama. I was just kind of going through the injury report for the most part before we started, and I believe the only player they have four players. They have Anderson out indefinitely, and then they have three more one's probable, one's questionable, and one's out till mid October. Three of them being wide receivers, but I really don't think it matters for Bryce Young.
I'm taking Bama and I'm taking the -20.
You're taking the -20 as well.
Yeah, and you want to hear my bold prediction of the week?
What?
Quinn
What is
Ivers
it?
has more interceptions than touchdowns this game.
Ooh,
That's
wow.
that's Grayson's bold pick of the week.
Wow. I will say Texas has two wide receivers that are out indefinitely, one with a knee injury and one with a suspension. And then they also have a O lineman out for the year with a knee injury, and they have a D lineman out till mid October with a leg injury. So not ideal going up against a Nick Saban led team. I also think Quinn Ayers is massively overrated. Um, I just don't. Texas will never be back. I'm gonna constantly hate on them. I had to pay Florida their respects for winning, and then I got to disrespect them. Texas, I don't even have to respect because they haven't even done anything, and I don't think they will do anything. Yeah, I'll go with you. I'll take the -20. Why
Yeah,
not?
I just
I
don't
don't.
see. I don't see. I see Alabama putting 35 up in the first half, and I can't even see Texas putting 35 up in the game.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I don't even know if it's gonna get to the over because I just don't know if Texas is gonna put up enough
I could
points.
see Alabama putting 56 on them.
Maybe.
Dude, their defense is atrocious, dude. Atrocious.
Yeah, that is true.
Kansas put like 62 on them last year.
God damn.
Yeah, but so
Um,
yeah, let's rock with Alabama. Let's take Alabama -20.
Fair enough. I like that.
What's our next game?
South Carolina versus number 16 ranked Arkansas. Arkansas is a -8.5 favorite. The over under on this game is set at 53. Let me tell you, Arkansas impressed me a lot against Cincinnati, and I think Cincinnati would beat South Carolina. So I'm going to take Arkansas at the -8.5
Yeah.
mark.
I don't.
Uh,
The 8.5 is what I'm a little concerned about. I'm 100% taking Arkansas. Spencer Rattler sucks, dude. And I watched a video breakdown of him, and he's got all the tools. He's got a great arm. He makes great throws like when they're easy, but he forces shit throws so many times. He forces way too much. He gets too cocky. He tries to play like 7-on-7 ball. And I think Arkansas is too legit. I think they're gonna kill him. I don't think he's dude, I vouched for him going into the season. I really thought he was gonna switch it up when he went to South Carolina, and I didn't see anything different when he played in their opening game. He had two, bro. His opening game, he had what's it called? He went 23 for 37 with a touchdown and 2 picks against Georgia State.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm taking Arkansas -8.5 easily. Easily. I think Cincinnati would have an easy time against South Carolina. And I think Arkansas, since they already
You
won,
taking the 8.5?
I'm taking the 8.5.
They beat Georgia State 35-14. Yeah, I'll take it. I take the 8.5. I'm like it. I'm letting my balls hang this week.
Hell yeah. I'll tell you what I'm not taking in this next game though, when we have App State rolling into Texas A&M. Yeah, Texas A&M, 6th ranked team in the country. My dick, buddy. And at -20, I don't know if you saw, but App State put up a nice little 60 burger, even though they lost. So ain't no way in hell they losing by 20. I can promise you that.
I agree.
Last time I remember we had App State as this much of underdogs. They went into Michigan and ended up getting a big block and winning the game. Now that was way back when, not the same football team, but that was back when App State was an FCS team. You're looking at App State as an FBS team now.
A solid FBS team.
And they ain't taking no BS from Texas A&M, led by Mr. Jimbo Fisher. Yeah, I don't like it. Really don't think much of Texas A&M. I think they'll always be, like we talked about before, an 8-14. That's just kind of the program that they run over there.
Mind you, Texas A&M only beat Sam Houston State 31-0, and it was like 17-0 for the longest time.
Yeah.
And App State is not Sam Houston State.
Yeah. Only thing I'm worried about is App State's defense is highly suspect.
Yeah, very suspect.
Highly.
But the quarterback,
but all
A&M is so ass. What's his name?
I don't even know.
Haynes King.
Yeah. Anytime a person is named after an underwear brand, I don't trust you.
I'm gonna go
App State plus 20.
App State plus 20. I don't think they're gonna win the game though, but they're gonna cover 100%.
Yeah. App State plus 20.
No way Texas A&M's beating them by 20.
Yeah. Next we got.
This is a very interesting game, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a very, very interesting game. I don't really know which way to go with it. We got, oh, my bad, just closed out. We got number 24, Tennessee, playing at number 17, Pitt. Tennessee coming in at a -6. Over-under set at 64.5.
Wait. Let me verify that it is an away game.
It is. It's at Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, PA. It's at Pittsburgh. It's at Pitt.
Okay, it is at Pittsburgh. Okay. I'm taking Pitt plus 6.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I'm gonna also ride Pitt plus 6.
I think Slavis wakes up a little bit more this week. I think that backyard brawl made things look a little closer. I think the SEC just gets sucked off a little too hard by Caesar Sportsbook, and I'm not liking it. I'm going to kind of stay away from the over-under. I really don't know what to expect out of this game. I'm not too confident about any over-unders. Actually, what the hell? App State, Texas A&M, that is definitely going over 54. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that too. I didn't want to say anything, but I think it's going to go over 54.
Yeah. That is for sure going over 54, without a doubt. So make sure to include that in any bets you make. But yeah, we'll just ride with Pitt.
Yeah, I don't want to touch the over under the Pitt Tennessee game because I could see it being really low scoring and boring, but I could also see it being a fucking amazing shootout.
Yeah, anytime there's two ranked teams playing against each other, like, just don't really see a blowout.
They're pretty equally matched, too, in my opinion.
Yes,
I think the experience of Slovis and I think it being at Pitt because their stadium was popping on that Thursday night game. I think that's going to help them win that game. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I like that a lot.
Now next game, oh, I'm sorry, finish.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Pitt's defense, didn't play their best, but they're only gonna get better. I thought that was one of their strengths coming into the season. I didn't really get a chance to watch Tennessee that much, and nothing they did over the weekend really made me be like, oh, did you see what happened in the Tennessee game? Like, it just didn't.
I mean, they
Didn't really
beat
stand
Ball
out.
State, what, 59-10? Like,
Expected. Come
yeah.
on, bro. Come on, bro.
Now, the next game, we got a little in Texas state rivalry game. Number 25 Houston at unranked Texas Tech. Texas Tech coming in at a -4, over under set at 62.5. All right. So, first of all, regardless of the pick, the over is going to slam.
Yeah.
Over is going to slam.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Um,
I'm going to rock with Houston +4. I don't know why Texas Tech's getting so much hype, and they have a really good recruiting class right now too, which I don't understand either. But
yeah.
they never do anything.
Yeah, definitely Houston +4. You know, the UTSA game, I just think it because again, isn't UTSA in Texas as well, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
no, is that
San Antonio, they are.
yeah. Yeah, another Tex game. It just happened to be close. Some fans even consider it a rivalry game, and you know how rivalries go. It's always iffy, little weird.
Mhm.
There I'd consider it a rivalry game. I mean, I don't know why Houston's other rival is Rice. I mean, those games aren't even competitive.
I think the way I see this game going is it's gonna be Houston's gonna go. It's gonna be an electric environment, by the way, because last time they played a couple years ago, it was a very electric environment. I think Houston's gonna go in there. I think it's gonna be a very close first half, and then I think Houston's just gonna blow up the scoreboard in the second. I don't know why there's so much hype around Texas Tech right now. I think the Big 12 is overrated. I think Houston's better than almost every Big 12 team. They're even
Yeah.
joining the Big 12 pretty soon. I don't see. I have no. There's nothing about Texas Tech that makes me want to be like they're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
I don't even know who their coach is, and I love Holgerson at Houston.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I don't really have much to say about this game either. I think Houston will kind of have more of a bounce back win. Um, I know they won last week, but I think they'll have even bigger bounce back this week.
It'll
Just
look
kind of how
prettier.
I
It'll
see
be
it
a
going down.
prettier win.
This game, this is going to be sad.
This is,
This is
how
gonna
we
be
have
really
our must watch games. This is a don't watch game.
Yeah, this is a if you need to torture someone for the next 3.5 hours on a Saturday, you force them to watch this game, and that'll be Iowa State versus Iowa. This is a rivalry game, but based off what I saw last week from Iowa, and this is what sucks because Iowa played probably the worst football game I've ever seen in my entire life against South Dakota. They put up a fake 7 points. Field goal, 2 safeties. Defense had to carry. Their quarterback, Petrus, whatever you want to call him.
He's probably
Yeah.
off that Patron in that game.
Yeah, facts. Dog shit. And then Iowa State played amazing. But here's what's going to happen. Iowa State is going to go into this game. And as a fan, you want to say Iowa State's going to win, but it's going to be the most Iowa thing ever when Iowa pulls off the win. It's just
You got Iowa?
Oh, dude, it's so obvious that Iowa State should win this game, and Iowa is just gonna find. It's gonna come down to like a fourth quarter drive where Iowa has
Let's
like
take
8 minutes left.
We'll take Iowa, but we're not touching the spread.
Yeah, money line
We'll
for
take
sure.
Iowa money line. And I'm also, I don't know about you, I want to take under 40.
Yes.
Iowa hasn't scored 1 touchdown.
And that's terrifying because usually I would never touch a college game where the over under was set at 40.
But dude, they're not gonna. Their defense is good as hell. They're gonna shut down Iowa State, and their offense isn't gonna score. I'm touching under 40.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that one. So I'll just make sure I mark that down. Next game, we have number 20 Kentucky versus the fake number 12 ranked University of Florida. Florida's at a -6.5. Dude, now what the hell are we thinking?
Over
Just
under
because
51.5.
I think Utah was overrated. Like I truly think they were overrated and they shot themselves in the foot.
I love Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
I like
Kentucky
Will
plus
Levis.
6.5.
I like fucking who's their head coach? I always forget his name. His dad was the Oklahoma coach. I'm gonna look it up and it's gonna piss me off that I forgot it.
I'll just say this while you're looking that up. I'm gonna save myself the embarrassment.
Mark Stoops.
That's what it is.
Mark Stoops.
I'm gonna save myself the embarrassment in the event that I end up being wrong again. So I won't say anything about the Gators, but
Dude,
I'm taking
it's
Kentucky. I'm taking Kentucky. Something doesn't feel right in my gut, and maybe it was the chili I ate earlier. I don't know, but
dude, there's
something just
no way
feels.
they go from a 6-7 team to beating Kentucky and Utah back to back. There's no way.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't want to touch the over under or the money line. I'll take Kentucky, or excuse me, or the spread. I'll take Kentucky money line.
Yeah. No, take
Oh, dude, if
Kentucky with.
this
No,
you
no,
want
no.
to, oh no,
Take.
yeah, Kentucky six plus 6.5. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. What?
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was Kentucky minus 6.5, minus 6.5 for a second.
Yeah. Um. Scared the shit out of me there. Uh.
Dude, if Florida wins, it's going to be the end of our podcast, though.
Yes. Yeah. We're gonna have to let Mac McDonald on here, and I'm gonna have
Oh,
to just. I might just drive up to Florida wearing a I hate
oh.
UF and just see what happens. Wow. Yeah. I'm scared for our personal well-being.
Kentucky, bro. Levis, Stoops, guys, please save clocks on the stove, please,
If
please.
not, if we
Dude,
end
and
up
I'm
losing,
pretty sure. UF's won like the last like 15 matchup, like 15 out of 17
yes.
matchups with them.
Yes. No, no, we're being very ignorant right now, like uber ignorant. However, I will say this. If UF ends up winning again, I this will become the biggest UF dick riding account of all time. Of all time. I will have
No,
them
if they spank Kentucky, they're legit as hell. They are
oh
legit as
yeah.
hell.
Oh yeah. And I will ride them into the sunset every
Yeah.
game, covering every spread. Like I don't care. That'll be my payback to the University of Florida.
Now
But
the next game's kind of a
ugh,
like weird trap game, like maybe number 10 USC
mm,
playing Stanford in a huge California rivalry game, huge Pac-12 rivalry game. USC is only coming in at a -8.
it's gonna hit the over.
You think it's gonna hit?
And
I don't think so, dude. I can't see Stanford putting up that many points.
let me tell you why.
Zach,
The
there's no way. No,
university,
Zach, we're not touching that. We're not touching that. We're not touching that.
the University of Southern California has 15 players on the injury report, and they have 5 DBs out.
Dude, but Stanford can't score.
Elijah Higgins, by the way, will be scoring a touchdown in this game. You can put
If
your
they throw
wipes.
him the ball, bro, they don't throw him the ball ever.
They will, and he will be scoring. And if you want to talk about a trap game, it's going to be because it's high scoring because there are so many defensive players. Dude, I'm D Jackson, questionable for Saturday, knee injury. Jaron Jackson Jr., DB injury, undisclosed. You have
They put
Odie,
40.
DB out. Branch, DB out. Um, Allen, DB knee out. Like, bro, your whole team, running
Dude,
back,
listen to
place
this.
kicker, D lineman, O lineman, linebacker, quarterback, tight. Like, dude, you
Dude,
got
listen to this.
problems.
Listen to this. Listen to this. USC's last 5 games. Opening game this year, they won against Rice. Then lost to Cal, lost to BYU, lost to UCLA, lost to Arizona State. Stanford's last 5. Beat Colgate, opening game. Lost to Notre Dame, lost to Cal, lost to Oregon State, lost to Utah. I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna take it.
I'm definitely taking USC -8 though.
Yeah, let's take USC -8 and then the over. And I
Yeah,
think if they feed Higgins, shout out Elijah, you're the boy. If they feed him, they're gross. But they only threw him the ball twice last game.
really?
Yeah, they don't throw him the ball enough. He had 2 catches last game.
For how many yards?
I don't know how many yards. Let me look right now.
My bold prediction is Elijah will have a touchdown in this game.
All right, he had 2 catches for 16 yards.
Who's the number one?
John Humphreys or Michael Wilson. John Humphreys and Michael Wilson, they both like basically had the same stats.
Hmm. Yeah, give me our boy EJ putting up a tutty.
Elijah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think USC -8 and Stanford and the over is gonna hit. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think USC with Lincoln Riley, like they're gonna consistently put up points. I mm, dude, that's surprising. You're a top 10 team in the country and you're only an 8-point favorite over
It's
an
a
unranked
big
Stanford team.
rivalry game though. It's a very big rivalry game.
But who gives a shit, dude?
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm just saying it's a big rivalry game.
Yeah. This rivalry is about as legit as Rice versus Houston, let me tell you. Because Stanford doesn't have Christian McCaffrey. Or what who was the quarterback when McCaffrey was there? We used to play NCAA all the time and he just like could truck anyone. It wouldn't even
Hogan.
matter. Hogan. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, that shit used to piss me off. But anyway, moving forward from that, we have Arizona State going up against the number 11 ranked Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's minus 12 and a half. Over under set at 57. I think Arizona State. Uh,
Yo, 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 yo. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Nate Diaz is negotiating to fight Tony Ferguson. And then D-Rod versus Jing Jing is in the works for the co-main event. D-Rod is already accepted.
bro, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we'll wrap this up real fast. Let's get to our next two games. I honestly think Oklahoma State. I don't even want to talk about football for the rest of the week. We can we'll
I'm
get
taking
those.
I'm taking Oklahoma State minus 12 and a half. Arizona State's dog water. Oklahoma State showed they can run the scoreboard up.
Yep.
I'm not touching the over under because I don't know enough about Arizona State, but I do know Emory Jones is their quarterback, and I can see him not doing shit.
And
Oh,
I don't think Herm Edwards is really going to keep his job at the end of this year anyway. Give me Oklahoma State minus 12 and a half. Moving forward, we have number 9 ranked Baylor versus number 21 BYU. BYU is actually favorites in this game at minus 3 points. BYU has one of the toughest schedules in the country. We were looking at outside of conference. I know they
yeah,
play in the
BYU
Mountain West.
schedule is tough.
Yeah, tough. They
Oh, and I
can
just got
upset.
I just got another notification about this game. BYU's top two receivers will miss the game against Baylor.
Yep. So we're gonna take number 9 Baylor with that +3
That's
and
that's your lock. By the way, before
lock of
we
the week easily.
our lock of the week 1,000,000% is Baylor 3.0 minus +3. Like
Yeah.
what?
And yeah. And even if the lines change, this is still the lock of the week.
No,
I'm sorry.
Baylor's gonna beat BYU. We
Yeah.
were gonna we were gonna tap into the rankings. We'll wait that for another week. We got to tap into this MMA talk.
Yes, I 100% agree. So we got an interesting fight card this weekend. We had a lot of shit go down. UFC 279, which will take place Saturday, September 10th. Main card will take place at 10 p.m. We won't really go into a lot of the prelims or the undercard because it's not that big of a card. So let's just jump right into the main card. We have starting things off on the main card.
Wait, we
We
can't
have
dive into the card yet because we don't know what the card is.
very true. So let's get into some headlines.
Yeah.
Anyway, first off, the press conference yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago, once this will be released, had to be canceled. Up to my knowledge, this is the only press conference I've ever seen canceled. And the reason for that was there was an altercation that went on backstage. And from what we know through social media, it was because one, we had Nate Diaz's squad of like 50 to 70 people throwing water bottles at presumably Khamzat's squad, wouldn't doubt it. And then you have Kevin Holland getting into it with Khamzat as well, calling him a fake gangster, saying he's only doing it in front of the media. He ain't about that life. And to be honest, I'm always going to believe Kevin Holland because that man is a true shit gangster. Like that man backs up everything he says. He's a real life superhero, if you want to be honest. I'm pretty sure he had that altercation, Grayson. I know you read into it where he like had to disarm someone with a gun, something along those lines, save someone's life.
Dude, I'm
He did
sorry. I'm
something.
trying to find all this stuff.
It's all good. We'll keep looking into that and get updates as they come.
All right. So this is all right. So going on. Johnny, let's start off Johnny Walker versus Ion Cutelaba. Johnny Walker's number 13, Cutelaba unranked. Johnny Walker coming in at a plus 165. That's crazy. Cutelaba coming in at a minus 195. Both of these guys at one point were like being like kind of like talked about taking over the division. Like they both had like a good Hill. The UFC wanted Johnny Walker to be good so bad. They wanted him to be so good, and he just never got it done. He got knocked out by Jamal Hill. He got knocked out by Corey Anderson. He just both of these guys, and I was talking to Dan Martinez, my head jiu-jitsu coach, last night about this fight. They both this is like the loser of this fight's probably gonna get cut. But someone's gonna get knocked out. And that's what's electric about it. That's what's awesome about this fight is one of these guys will knock each other out. They both just throw nukes, and they're headhunters. They go for the knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see Johnny Walker, even as a ranked fighter, be plus 165 underdog. Kind of looking at the fight as it's kind of they're both coming off losses. Walker's 18-7. You have Cutelaba, who's 16-7 with one no contest. I just think Johnny Walker's obviously he's a bigger fighter, got a longer reach, just better set up for this fight, especially as a Brazilian. I really have a lot of faith in those Brazilians with their Muay Thai and their BJJ. I just think he'll take this fight over Cutelaba. And it's a good upset pick, honestly, because I don't really see him as an underdog going into this fight. The
All right,
next fight.
So let's just talk about what we want to happen and what everyone else is saying is going to happen and what we really hope happens. So the rumors going on right now is that the original fights were Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez at a catchweight at 180. Okay. Li Jingliang versus Tony Ferguson at a welterweight bout. And then Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz at a welterweight bout. Khamzat Chimaev missed weight by 7.5 pounds. Technically 8.5, but you get the +1 because it's not a title fight. So what I'm reading currently right now, what's in the works is Khamzat to fight Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez to fight Li Jingliang, and Tony Ferguson to fight Nate Diaz. A complete fucking mixed match of fights. It's never been like this in the history of the sport.
This is
Zach said the press conference getting canceled. Like, you don't even need to follow MMA to understand how insane this is.
Yeah. I'm just kind of looking. Where was this verified by?
None of it's been verified. It's all in the works. It's all in the works. But Daniel Rodriguez has verbally agreed to fight G. Leon.
Okay, so if it's all in the works, so hopefully I would love for all this to happen because I'll explain kind of like I already kind of got into it a little bit about what happened backstage. You had Kevin Holland shit talking Chimaev, and honestly, I think it's because Holland kind of knew that Chimaev was gonna miss weight anyway because he already
no way he knew. It started off earlier in the week. Kevin Holland said that Chimaev's fake. He said when he's in front of cameras, he talks and talks, but he's a really nice, like wholesome dude. But he just called him out. Then at the press conference, they're all behind the stage. They start chirping, and Kevin Holland, when he talks shit, he doesn't like say like "fuck you" and stuff. He's like nice. He was like, "Yeah, I'll give you a real haircut. Like, let me trim your beard up. You don't know. It looks like you've never gotten your beard trimmed up."
Yeah.
And then they just started getting into it, and then somehow Nate Diaz's boys started getting into it,
just throwing water bottles and shit.
Yeah, and then last night, at a hotel or at a mall or somewhere, Darren Till was eating with a bunch of his boys, and Kevin Holland walked into the same restaurant with a bunch of his boys, and then Darren Till's boys got up from the table and met them outside, and they had a 20-minute altercation out there too.
Yeah, obviously no hands were thrown. I think Darren Till just likes to, keep shit started. I think Till's fucking hilarious. But yeah, obviously he's just trying to stand up for his boy. You get how it goes. One of those situations. Honestly, respect for them for not throwing hands, before a fight. You don't really want to cause any of those issues to prevent a fight card from taking place. That just takes away from the fans.
Dude, I just don't get it's right now our time while we're doing this. Like while we're doing this podcast right now, it's about almost 4:00. It's 3:45. I don't understand how they still haven't released any updates. Like that's late. That's late in the day. It's almost nighttime.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. Dana may be brewing something in Uncle Dana's pot of witchcraft.
You think
Dana loves stirring the pot, man.
You think he's losing his fucking mind right now?
I mean, hell no. If he's able to pull this shit out of the bag, this would be one of the biggest Dana fucking recoveries I've ever seen in my life.
It would probably blow up the pay-per-view numbers too. But it fucks, dude. It fucks their media team so bad. You already know they have all the pre-shit for the fight made out already. It's already done.
Oh, it's
But
going to
then
be
have
one
to
of the
go in right now and
sloppiest.
just start.
You know what I'll say though? Because it's going to be so
Everyone's
sloppy.
fight camps just got fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be so sloppy from a media side of things that it's going to be so nostalgic because I feel like it's going to be like the old UFC days where it's literally just rolling out tails of the tape. You have guys just talking shit in the commentary booth. They're going to be like, yeah, this guy just likes to bang. He throws a flurry of punches. Like literally, they're not going to talk about how they trained in camp at all because it's
It
not
doesn't
going to
matter. It's
matter. It
irrelevant
doesn't
now. You're
fucking
fighting a
matter.
completely different person.
Yeah. Personally, the way we describe things, how we think it's going to be set up, I love it.
Yeah,
Just
let's
based off
let's
how,
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's address the card as what we think it's going to be, and then we'll address if it goes the way it's supposed to go.
yeah.
So the way it could happen right now is the opening fight would be Daniel Rodriguez versus Li Jingling.
I don't know. I thought it would still be
Jingling.
John. Wait, it still wouldn't be Johnny Walker and.
No, I mean of the three fights, of those three fights,
Oh,
of
okay.
the,
Yeah. So we're
the
going.
final three fights, the
Okay.
order.
Yeah.
So it would be the Cutelaba Walker fight, the
And then
ladies
we have the
fight,
women's.
and then
Yeah.
then the opening fight after that, the feature fight you would call it. It would be Daniel Rodriguez fighting Li Jingling. Okay, so Daniel Rodriguez, I believe, is naturally a middleweight. I
Mm.
believe. I believe. I
I mean,
believe.
it was a catch weight. They were both weighing in at 185
Yeah,
anyway.
no, they're both
So,
weighing at 180 in between
oh,
70
they
and
won it.
85. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the way I see this fight is Daniel Rodriguez was not supposed to fight Kevin Holland. I believe somebody else was supposed to fight Kevin Holland. I can't remember.
Wasn't it Jared Cannonier?
Yeah, no. That's Sean Strickland. That's middleweight.
Okay. Okay.
But so was Colin Holland. I don't understand. I don't know really, to be completely honest with you. But Kevin Holland was supposed to fight someone else. Daniel Rodriguez took it on 2 weeks' notice. He just like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I'll take it. He's a savage. If you don't know anything about him, watch his previous fights, look him up. He's like a Nate Diaz, like Hispanic gangster savage. Like he's a savage. Yeah, he's better spoken than Nate Diaz though, but he's a savage. And so I think if he fights Lee, I think he runs through him. I think the only issue is he has to finish him soon, or Lee's gonna gas him out because he's at a full camp.
Yeah. Yeah. Jing Lang's also a warrior.
Yeah, no,
He
he's
knows
a
how to
savage
fight.
too. But I fuck with Daniel Rodriguez, dude. I really fuck with Daniel Rodriguez.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say this. I have no idea what to tell you to bet on. I'm just going to tell you who I like going into the fights.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
bets are out of this.
Yeah.
I'm not touching bets right now.
Yeah. Not at all.
We don't know what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. But hopefully it goes this way because if not, what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to be Daniel Rodriguez versus Kevin Holland at the catch weight. Well, if it stays as is, Kevin Holland would be a minus 200 favorite over Daniel Rodriguez, and I'm taking the American Gangster. Kevin Holland and Bobby Green are kind of like those two guys I just see as like real ass motherfuckers,
Yeah.
and they not only talk their shit, they back it up, and they're super respectful people outside of the ring. They're great showmen, and they show they have great content of character outside the ring.
And like you said, they're
perfect
real
role
as
models.
fuck. Like you hear both of them talking about like they don't care about race, they don't care about how much money you make. They're real ass dudes. And the thing is about both of them too is they're both extremely active fighters. Bobby Green and
Yes.
Kevin Holland fight all the time, like they're
Yes.
always fighting.
Yes.
I would also take Kevin Holland over Daniel Rodriguez primarily for the fact that he had a full camp. But I do think Rodriguez has knockout power, but so does Holland, dude.
Yeah.
So does Holland.
So if
Then our dream matchup, co-main, would be Kevin
Khamzat.
Holland versus Khamzat Chimaev.
Now, unfortunately,
No, you can say it.
Unfortunately,
Khamzat would run through Kevin Holland.
yeah,
I think it'd be
Yeah.
fun, and I don't think Khamzat would finish him. I think Kevin Holland would give him the work on the ground, like he would stand with them and bang. But Khamzat is his rep. You see Kevin Holland when he loses his fights, he loses the wrestlers. He just gets
Yeah.
wrestle fucked, and that's the issue. You saw it with Vittori, and you saw it with Derek Brunson. He just can't wrestle. He doesn't even
Yeah.
try. He just I don't know. I just think Khamzat would run through him, but I think it'd be so entertaining because they would talk shit while they're fighting each other the entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And if Khamzat took him down, Kevin would be like, "Oh, you're a bitch for taking me down. Like you ain't real. You won't stand and fight with me." But then again, it is MMA. Like wrestling is a part of the sport.
I think if
really
this
hate
goes
against
down,
it.
this is one of the most historic sporting events of all time.
Yeah, just for
Completely
the
curveball
chaos.
change. It would blow up their pay-per-views. Everyone's gonna tune in. And the fighters, it's like old school UFC. You're just throwing a guy. You're just
Yeah,
giving a
yeah,
guy.
yeah. You used to tune into UFC fights on Spike TV and be like, "Who's fighting?" I don't fucking know.
So I'm just
Like
trying to watch some dudes knock each other out.
exactly, like that's exactly what it's going to be. The next fight we hope to see would be, or what would happen? Excuse me. This is the fight where it was supposed to be Zhang Long versus Tony Ferguson. Ferguson is at plus 255. Zhang Long is at a minus 305. I'm gonna be honest. Tony's coming off a four fight losing streak, but the people he's lost to are either
All
wrestlers
savages.
or
All savages.
murderers. Yeah,
Gaethje, Oliveira, Benio Dariush, and Michael Chandler.
yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I would not be surprised if Tony pulls off that upset.
I think the size is gonna hurt him because Liang, whatever his name is, he's not a small welterweight at all.
Lee Zhang Long.
So it's really hard to pick.
I don't know how to bet Tony fights, and that's just because I don't even know how to like think of the man Tony Ferguson.
I'm cheering for Tony. I think Tony can get it done, and he's gonna take the gloves off and leave him knocked down. I think it's just sucks that a lot of really good guys retired this year, and it really, really sucks. Roy McDonald, Cowboy.
Well, then I pray to God. I pray to God if he's going to do that, it better come against Nate Diaz in the last fight, because I know that these two guys, you're talking about two guys with amazing grappling that just don't use it. They only want to stand in the middle and fucking just punch each other in the face. And if there was a bet to make this night, if I ever was going to make a bet, it's that fight's going the distance. If Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson fight, it is 100% going the distance. I don't care.
Twitter, I want to see if something pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ideally, the way it's looking is the way we want it. It'd be Khamzat versus Kevin Holland in the co-main, and then Tony versus Nate in the main event. And this is a fight that a lot of people been wanted, and they both said they got offered. Tony agreed that he got offered. He said I wasn't running. It was just poor timing for the fights. But they're both down to scrap for sure. They're both down to scrap. Dude, nothing's up yet.
It's all right. Even if we get the pod updated, we'll make sure to keep everything up to date on social media. So for those that watch this, you'll probably know ahead of time before this pod's even released, because I'm sure that information
it's got to happen very soon. Anyways, if that fight happened, Tony versus Nate, first of all, I think it's a way better fight than Nate and Khamzat. I think it's going to be electric. So much fun to watch. They both got huge followings too. Khamzat's getting there, but I don't think he's on Tony and Nate level. And they, like you said, Zach, they would probably make it a 3-round fight because they made Tony prepare for 3 rounds. They would stand in the middle and just slug it the fuck out for 3 rounds.
I guarantee you Tony would accept 5 rounds.
I don't know. Dana's up a weight class.
Dude. Dana would offer it. He'd be like, Tony, do you want to do 5 rounds since it's a main event? And because Dana's not going to want to make a main event 3 rounds. He's just
he will though to save the card. He 100%
will. He will, but he is definitely going to keep the proposal on the table to Tony, because Tony's a crazy motherfucker. Tony gives no fucks. Like Tony, if you told Tony it was an unlimited hour fight and that you were just going to fight until a man died, Tony would be like, yes. And that's just who El Kukui is. But I hope it goes 5 rounds, because I just want to see the octagon bloodshed covered. I want to see the most blood poured onto a mat I've ever seen in my life. And that's exactly what we get out of this fight.
Kevin Holland just put on his Instagram story 5 minutes ago. He tagged the UFC and he tagged Khamzat. He said, accept it or not. I'll take a new poster.
Facts. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the card itself. We do have some other headlines I'd like to get into, though.
Nah, wait, the other headlines real quick, dude. I want Nate versus Tony, and it seems like the whole fucking world wants Nate versus Tony. They want this fight to get made. And dude, I think I think it would just be so much fun to watch. They're gonna stand in the middle and slug it out. They're both gonna bleed. They're both gonna go crazy, and they're gonna show each other mad respect, and then they'll both retire. I think it's I think it'd be ideal. I just think it's literally insane to think about this, bro. Khamzat missed weight by 8.5 pounds. And the thing that frustrates me too is like we were talking about before the pod started. He didn't seem to care that he missed weight. He made jokes on Twitter. He's smiling at the weigh-ins. He's
Yeah.
flicking off. Bro, this is a lose-lose situation for you. Okay. You missed weight, so you're losing your purse. Even if they give you the Holland fight, they're gonna give a percentage of your purse away. All right. And then the other thing is you're probably just set yourself back another fight for the title. You can't miss weight like that, bro. You can't talk shit about Nate Diaz this whole fucking time being a bum and shit, and then fucking miss weight. That's the one guarantee you can get in a fight is making weight. You can't guarantee you win. You can't guarantee shit. You can guarantee making
Yeah.
weight.
One of the things I liked was Kevin Holland tweeted before as he was like, real gangsters make weight. Because it's like one of the things like you just have to do. Like you're expected to do it every time you come into a fight camp. Like it you literally have so much time to prepare to make a certain amount of weight. Like the only circumstance where I can understand it, because honestly, going into this fight card, there were three guys that ended up missing weight. You have Khamzat Chimaev that missed by 7.5 pounds. You had Hakeem Dawodo, who was on the undercard, who was fighting at 145, who ended up weighing in at 149.5. And then you also had Chris Barnett, who I had never seen miss weight at heavyweight before. But once you learn about Chris Barnett's scenario, and this is where I'm going to go on my little rant. The MMA community has to do a better job of knowing its fighters and knowing when to talk shit about guys. I went on Twitter and saw that he missed weight, and I was a little upset that all these guys were missing weight.
Especially
And they went on,
heavyweight.
yeah, at heavyweight, and they were talking all this shit about Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett's fiance passed away 6 months ago. And if you learn about that, or you learned about him, Chris Barnett fights out of Tampa, Florida, or he
Fights out of
fights out
Georgia.
of Georgia.
He's a Florida
Yeah, he's
boy.
a Tampa native. You have no idea what a man is going through. Like he had to, after he lost his last fight, he literally got a phone call having to take his fiance off life support. That is one of the hardest things I could ever imagine having a man go through. It sure as fuck wasn't easy. And the fact that he had to pick up a fight this soon after that shows that he needs to keep fighting. That he needs to keep fighting in order to support himself and his family. It's incredibly difficult for him to even go through that. So the fact that he missed weight is incredibly sad. But there are some circumstances where missing weight, I'll cut some guys some slack. Whatever the situation was for Hakeem Dawodo, I don't know until we get more informed about it. Then we can make our judgment. So I'll kind of reserve. The only person I'll kind of shit on off the bat though is 100% Khamzat, like you said. I mean, this guy, complete joke, smirking on the stage, flicking off the fans. It's first of all, it's completely disrespectful in two aspects. Number one, you're disrespecting the fans who are paying money to come see you fight in a main event against Nate Diaz. You're supposed to be a title contender up and coming. You're the number 3 ranked fighter. You're a minus 1,150 going into the fight. It's a fight you should win. This should be an easy purse for you. And instead, you completely blew it off because you didn't want to fight the guy. Like, that is so not what being a fighter is about. Like, you are doing the entire sport a complete disservice. And then this is extremely disrespectful for Nate Diaz because this man put in as much work as possible for this camp. I know he said in an interview, like, I stopped training, fuck it, beat me. But I truthfully don't see that as the truth. He still had to train to lose weight. He had to cut down. So I've lost a ton of respect for Khamzat. I really don't even care if he gets a title shot anymore. Like, fuck him. Like, you showed you showed the UFC and the sport as its entirety a complete disservice. So you better wait in line again, buddy. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yo, and also I'm reading this tweet from Cole Shelton, he's verified on Twitter at least, but he's a sports writer for bjpenn.com. So he's verified. He said, this is 2 hours ago, I talked to someone in Nate Diaz's camp who said Khamzat's fight's not going to happen. They believe Chimaev didn't even try to make the weight and is basically cheating. The consensus around Diaz's team is he's either going to fight Tony or not fight at all.
It better be Tony.
Yeah, but it's
better
Tony.
be Tony.
You think Tony wants that fight?
Yep. You know how much this does for Tony as well? That's huge. You gain so much respect.
I just think it's insane that it's 4:00. It's 4:00, and we have no idea what's happening right now.
God, I love the MMA. Dude, shit happens.
This card is cursed, bro. But it's either gonna get canceled or it's gonna turn into the most beautiful blessing of all time.
Yeah.
No, there's no way
they You want to know what's not
What do
the
you think
UFC
worst?
though?
What do you think's worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario,
They just
they
pull off the
complete.
Diaz Shemaev and make Leah Jing the main event.
Yeah, and if you do that, I'm not even gonna watch the card.
Yeah, you have to take off the pay per view. You have to make it fight night.
Yeah, I'm not watching that shit, bro. Like, I could find something better to do, dude. I'm gonna be if it's 10 o'clock at night, I'll watch a Pac-12 game on Saturday. Like
All right.
you're
Let's do hypothetical. Let's do hypothetical. If you're Dana, what are you gonna do here?
you 100% tell, dude. Okay, honestly, this is the problem. Is like we saw the fights that he wants to set up. The way is how does he pitch it? So if I'm Dana, how am I gonna
That's what.
pitch it to
Yes,
these
you want to hear
guys?
what I would do?
How would you pitch it?
Okay, so you have your three fights. Okay, so the opening fight you want is Daniel Rodriguez versus Jilling. This fight does fucking nothing for either one of these dudes at all. It does nothing
Yeah,
for either one of them. They didn't. They prepared for completely different kinds of fighters. All right, they will never meet each other in the pool. It does nothing for them. What I do is I give them a guaranteed 25K each. You get
yes,
25K each. You get a finish. I'll give you a finish bonus regardless if it's finish of the night. So
yeah,
there's 25 max potential 75. Okay. Tell them both that. On top of that, regardless of the fight, you get signed. Like we won't fuck you for the future for another fight. You know,
yeah.
for the co-main
I would say this
Khamzat,
fight doesn't count against. I would say this fight doesn't count against your contract. I would say you get the money like you're getting money regardless, and this fight doesn't
will
count
give
against your
you win.
contract.
Yeah, no. I would guarantee win money to both of them.
Yes,
I give
yes,
you no
yeah,
matter what, you both get your win money.
yes,
You both get your win money. They're gonna say yes. They want the money. Then you
yeah,
do Holland versus Khamzat. He's fucking ready to go. You don't have to say
yeah,
anything to him. Khamzat, you tell him you're fighting Holland. Okay. You're gonna fight Holland at a catchweight, so you're not gonna have a ranking for it. And on top of that, you're gonna lose. You're whatever percentage of your purse. I know it's certain pounds or certain percentage is going straight to Diaz still. It's still going to Diaz because you ruined
yep.
the main event for him. You ruined the pay-per-view. And then maybe give a little bit to Holland, but I'm giving the majority to Diaz. Main event, I'm giving Tony his money. You don't have to touch that. They'll take it. The main
Yeah.
event's set. I think it's the other two fights you need to worry about.
So here's what I would pitch to. I really don't think Daniel Rodriguez is going to go against taking the fight, and the main reason I say that is because he's going to be fighting a top 15 ranked fighter. It's only going to help him if he ends up
Yeah.
winning. If he loses, it's no one's really going to count it
And
against
either
him.
way, it's on 2 weeks' notice. He has
Yeah,
like that's not an
yeah,
excuse, but like he didn't get a camp.
yeah. For Lee, what I would guarantee him, if I couldn't promise him any money, what I would guarantee him though, say if you take this fight, I will give you a top 10 ranked fight your next fight.
If you win.
If you win, just your next fight will be a top 10 ranked fight if you win. That'll give him some incentive to actually go into the fight, try to put on a fucking show. Daniel Rodriguez is already going to win. I'm not saying neither of the guys don't want to win anyway, but like incentivize it. Like make these guys fight that much more
Dude,
passionately.
I bet the UFC war room right now is going nuts.
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 Here's
Dude,
what I tell to
it's
Khamzat.
4 o'clock and there's nothing. There's no updates.
Yeah. Here's what I say to Khamzat though. Kevin wants to take it anyway. I know he wants to just.
Yeah, he put it on his Instagram story.
Yeah, he already wants to lay some punches. I told Khamzat, if you don't accept this fight, I drop you out of the top 10. Sorry, like go fuck yourself. And or I will not tell him I will not put you on another card for like 4 or 5 months. Like just legit threaten that man, blackmail him. I don't give a fuck. This man tried to fuck you, like literally tried to fuck you on your own card,
Dude,
and you are Dana White.
This dude tweeted Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin, and Brock Lesnar walking into the cage tomorrow to save the UFC card.
It's old school UFC time, bro. Honestly, don't even get USADA to drug test any of these guys. Just let Nate Diaz smoke a blunt as he's walking into the octagon. Let Tony Ferguson just be on as much drugs as he can find.
I want to know.
I don't want to know. I just want I want to turn on my TV and Dana doesn't even announce the cards. It's just gonna be like, we don't even know what the card's gonna be. You're just gonna have to see what fighters we roll out. And then it'll be like,
No, they have to make
hell?
an announcement before tomorrow because they will lose pay-per-view buys if they don't have something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for it. 2 more things I'd like to point out. One thing still within the UFC, Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier was announced for MSG. I believe that would be UFC 283
In November.
Yep, in November. I believe that'll be a main event. If
No,
not,
it's not a main
should
event. It's a 3-round. They agreed to a 3-round fight.
Really?
It'll be a co-main.
Damn. Yeah. Honestly, mad fucking respect to Michael Chandler. Ever since this dude got into the UFC, this man has only fought the scariest men on the planet.
Yeah, he hasn't
And
fought nobody bad.
and he doesn't give a shit. He will fight anyone in the world. Mad respect to him. He's a great person.
No, but
Dude,
Dustin, you can
honestly,
say the exact same thing about Dustin.
oh, exactly. But the thing is, Dustin's been in the sport, so I didn't have to say that about Dustin.
Oh, they're fighting as the co-main on the Adesanya Pereira card.
Yeah.
UFC
Oh,
281.
okay, yeah. That card's gonna be a banger. Wow. Dude, you honestly
It's
just
not
might.
even the co-main. It's not even the co-main. Dude, this card is amazing. Bro, you have Brad Riddell versus Renato Moicano and Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles in the prelims. You open up the pay-per-view with Dominic Reyes versus Ryan Spann. Then you got
Okay.
Molly the Meatball McCann's fighting Aaron Blanchfield. Then your feature fight is Poirier versus Chandler. Co-main is Esparza versus Wei Lee. Main event is Izzy versus Pereira. That is a freaking card.
Ooh. I tune into any. I know we don't talk a lot about our women MMA fighters as much as I'd like to, but any fight Wei Lee is in, I am 100% tuning in. That bitch is badass.
Agreed.
I love it. I like the comment that I forget who made the comment. I'll probably go back and find it, but it was Robert Whitaker. He said Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya is just going to be a kickboxing match with 4-ounce gloves. That's literally what we're going to be watching. And honestly, if it goes that route, Pereira is winning.
Yeah, and I think Rob wants Pereira to win so bad.
Oh yeah, because trust me,
Rob is a horrible matchup for Pereira.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Horrible matchup for Pereira.
Yeah, I love that for Bobby Knuckles. Let me tell you.
And by the way, if Rob got a UFC title again, I would be so happy.
Yeah, and by the way, let me say this: Bobby Knuckles put on a absolute masterclass against Marvin Vettori. I don't know who got the chance to go and watch that fight because I know with football that was going on during the weekends. By the way, it's going to be really hard for Dana. He better put together some really good cards if he wants to compete with college football.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bobby Knuckles went out there first round, kind of got tagged a little bit, but once he found his range against Marvin, stuffed his 3 takedown defense.
He didn't get touched.
Did not get touched. Round. He could fight. He could have literally fought on this card if he wanted to.
Yeah.
If the UFC would have allowed him to, he could have totally fought on this card.
You go watch the videos of him understanding the distance. He doesn't even flinch.
Yeah.
Vettori will throw a jab, and Rob knows he's out of distance. He just stays there, like grazes his nose like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I'm so glad Marvin got his ass beat the way he did because he tried to do that little psychological warfare where he just didn't shake his hand.
To the nicest guy in the UFC.
Dude, there's a lot of ways to win in the mental warfare side of things, but not shaking a guy's hand, like, go fuck yourself.
Dude, and it's different if it's like Colby, but this is Rob. He's so wholesome. He's so nice.
Yeah. And Rob, my favorite, is like after the fight, he's standing in the middle. He just goes, I know I don't have a lot of finishes in my career, but I promise I hit really fucking hard. Yeah. Like I hit the shit out of people. And he's like, I promise Marvin can attest to that. But he's like, sorry, I couldn't knock anyone out tonight. Like it is what it is. But and then there was what fight am I forgetting? Oh, Tai Tuivasa and Cyril Gane on that card. Holy shit. You want to talk about a bang fest? Cyril Gane, by the way, if Francis Ngannou wasn't the champ, Cyril Gane.
Good. He's good, dude. He's good.
And
respect to Tai Tuivasa. I've talked so much shit about him. I just said he only has 1-punch knockout power. He showed high level striking in that fight.
And he dead ass knocked out Gane, but Gane hit the canvas so hard he woke back up. So mad respect to Tai. Tai also, even in losing, my favorite thing that I love seeing out of fighters is even in losing, they show the utmost respect for their opponents. They don't get salty or act like a sore loser or say they got robbed or that the other fighter cheated, whatever. Tai made no excuses, got up, shook Gane's hand, congratulated him, went on social media directly afterwards. It was already cracking jokes, drinking shoeies, just being a good sport about it. And also I want to give out a shout out because we never really got to. Shout out Usman after his loss to Leon because
I don't know if I want to. That can be a you shout out. I don't know if that's a we shout out.
All right,
I think I'm kind of against it personally.
Dude, he straight up went out on social media and he was like, "Hey, Leon trained that kick. He prepared."
Oh yes. So look. Usman right after, I respect 1,000,000%. But now
Yeah.
he's pushing it too much. Like the other day, he said, "I'm thankful I got knocked out. I'm happy I got knocked out because that made me more hungry and blah blah blah." And Leon's like, "Dude, you're not happy. You're not happy you lost. Don't."
Yeah.
There's a difference of being like accepting of it and then being like, "We're gonna work harder and get it." Don't be like, "I'm thankful that's what happened. Like that's what I want." No, that's not true at all. He's reaching now. He's doing too much.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. Like, whatever. If you want to convince yourself mentally that you want to be thankful for it, like, you want to keep yourself in the right headspace. Because I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of people that went on social media and were like, I don't see Usman recovering from this. Because, like, a lot of times champions get knocked out like that and they just never mentally recover. So, I mean, whatever you have to do for yourself to keep yourself mentally in the game or to, like, come back hungrier, whatever. You may be judged for it. You can be hated on. That's fine. But like you said, one of the main reasons I was just respectful for, wanted to give a shout out, is he gave credit to Leon where it was due. He could have came out and be like, "Oh, I was whooping his ass for 5 rounds and he got lucky," but he was like, "No, he trained that kick." He's like, "A fight's 5 rounds for a reason. That's why they call them the championship rounds." And he's like, "Leon deserved to be champion." And he even sat back and went on Joe Rogan and laughed about the memes he was seeing about himself, which a lot of people I don't think could have the balls to even say they would. Um, but yeah, Leon, I hope you stay champion as long as possible, buddy. You deserve that so much, man. You're a fucking awesome human being. Um, we'll try to keep you up to date with all the UFC news that will be arriving in hopefully the next hour or two. I know we're trying to prolong this pod a little bit just to see if anything pops up. But honestly, that's it for me. I ain't got much more to say. We
All
have
I
an
gotta
exciting week
say
in
is
college football.
picks of the week: Alabama -20, Arkansas -8.5, App State +20, over 54, Pitt +6, Houston +4, over 62.5, Iowa money line under 40, Kentucky +6.5, USC -8, over 67.5, Oklahoma State -12.5, Baylor +3. And then for the fights, if they go the way they're supposed to go, we're rocking with Johnny Walker over Ion Cutelaba, Kevin Holland over Daniel Rodriguez, Tony Ferguson over Lee Jialang, and Khamzat over Nate Diaz. If they go the way everyone in America and in the entire world wants to go, we're taking Daniel Rodriguez over Lee Jialang. We're taking Khamzat over Kevin Holland, and we're taking
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz over Tony Ferguson.
Time to fight, baby. Just give you shit.
But yeah, we're gonna try to keep you updated if anything happens. Check out the social medias, Clocks on the Stove podcast.
Hell yeah, baby.